Hey, it's MK, and I am joining the Mix It Up Monday Gals, and this is where we take a sketch. This one happens to be from 30 Days of Sketches by Cindy Brown, and we take a sketch and we add a little bit of mixed media to it. So I have actually picked out a pre-made mixed media background for my specific sketch because it worked perfectly. It was already set up and ready to go. I just had to pick out a couple things. So from Pretty Little Studio, I picked out all of these little labels and things from the, oh golly, what was that called? It's not Grateful Heart, but it was the, I'm sorry, you guys. It was the autumn collection that we did a couple months ago. I also have this little baggie of felt flowers and wooden flowers, and things like that. I have a doily from Stampin' Up, some, vellum pieces, and then some flair by Scrap and Happy Studio, a bunch of scraps that I've had from a previous layout, which actually is about the same kind of rock formations that are outside of the visitor center for Mono Lake. I'm going to map my photos on this brown cardstock, and this is the background that I was telling you guys about. So because of these rock formations not being a big deal and whatnot, but I wanted to include them in my layout, I'm actually going to turn around and make this an 8.5 by 11 layout. So I'm going to shrink the sketch down quite a bit, which actually eliminates a lot of room for embellishing and things like that. So it is absolutely perfect. I went ahead and I flattened my flare. I'm going to ink them so they're not all pristine and pretty, but I am going to be using the exact same papers that I used for my last rock formation. I want to say last month I just did this. So I went ahead and I'm going to stick this beautiful. This is my favorite plaid, you guys. Oh my gosh. I love this broken plaid. It is amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that in the middle of my layout, covering up the cheesecloth that I had already glued to my page. I did already cut down my mixed media. I'm so sorry. My mixed media background, I cut it down to 8.5 by 11 already. I do have the extra pieces laid off to the side, but I doubt I will ever use them. And then of course, to finish off the layout, I'm just going to go ahead and overlap my my pictures. And then for my third picture, I have the Obsidian, almost like stone marker. I went ahead and I cut it out, but I'm going to trim it down just a little bit so that way it fits a little bit more on my page. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to manipulate my pages or my pictures so I can get the this stone saying, this triangle on, or is it a triangle? It's a triangle with its bottom topped off. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to try to get it to work in my favor. I had a little bit of this green scrap that I'm just going to go ahead and tuck behind, just so that way it does match the other side of this layout, because these are the exact same things that I used on the other side. And without even thinking, I'm going to go ahead and put my photos down right in the middle. I can figure out the rock formation, the rock plaque later. I can make this work some other way. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my doily in half so that way I can use little bits and pieces of it here and there. I'm going to have one tucked at the top and one tucked at the bottom, just so that way I can, get them to start my base, what are they called? My clusters. I'm going to get them to start my clusters. For these vellum pieces, I do like to rip the edges of them and make them look like they've were torn out of a book rather than just keep them in the square. I've always done this for all these vellum pieces, but I don't think these actually make it on my layout, if I'm being honest. I'm not sure if I get them to work or not. I do have this little tag piece that I'm going to put for my for my not titling, my journaling. And then of course memories is my title. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am losing it here for for my voiceover, I have no idea what I'm trying to say. I want to put my title and this flare right here because I actually have Great Grandma Dottie's arm sticking out, and I'm trying to cover it up. I cut my photos down as much as I could without cutting into the photo as much as I could. So I thought, well, I will embellish using, to cover up the portion of her arm that I could not get off. I'm sorry, Great Grandma Dottie, but that's really all you could see of her was her arm. And so I decided, instead of it becoming part of the layout going, oh, who was that? This way it's just the kids concentrated on the amount of obsidian. This is the largest amount of obsidian that we have ever seen. We have seen a bunch of obsidian in a museum before, but never this large of a rock. I mean, look at how tall my children are, and the rock is about as tall as they are. So it's pretty impressive with how big this piece is. And then the plaque goes on and tells you where it came from and how long ago it was found, and things like that. So that's what the little plaque is for. And then that way I don't have to write it down later. I like this particular rock formation because my children actually knew what obsidian was, and they got really super excited about the fact that it was something that they could relate to because of the fact that they knew what it was. They've seen it, they've held it, they've touched it before, just never in this large of a quantity. All right, so I'm almost done with these little layouts. They do go by very, very fast. They take nothing whatsoever to put together, especially when I already had not a theme, but I already had a layout that used these exact same pieces. So I already had pieces that I knew I was going to be using again for the same storytelling, basically, and the same, not the same rock formation, but the same event, I guess I should say. So yeah, it made it easy. And then of course my mixed media background made it all the more easier because I'd already gotten the mixed media background completed. And that is it. That is what I have for you guys. If you guys are curious on how I made the background, it is on a Facebook group. I have a mixed media for beginners group on Facebook, where I go through and I talk about all of these. Actually, I do have to go and I grab all of those videos, so they might end up here on YouTube one of these days because of the fact that Facebook is not allowing you to keep their lives anymore on Facebook forever like they used to be. So I might have to go and fix that. All right, you guys. So thank you so much, Cindy, for your amazing sketch. I had a blast adding mixed media to it. Don't forget to check out all the links that I have down below, the girls that are playing along with Mix It Up Monday, as well as the 30 days of sketches. I've got a couple links for those as well. And yeah, thank you so much, and I will check you guys all later. Bye.